What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Chaz Ellis, and I'm just kind of doing a little report on what's been going on in Baltimore. For some of you who haven't known, there's riots going on in Baltimore, and it's basically more of the same. Black people being killed by police officers and just feel like they have no voice. I'm not gonna go too much into what happened. You guys can kind of look that up. I mean, people probably already know anyway. But what I do want to address is just one thing that people keep saying, and this rings true in pretty much every riot situation. You hear it all the time. You know, it's constantly, well, why do these people burn up their own communities? Why is it that these poor people constantly destroy their own poor communities? Why is it that they're burning down their own stores and all this kind of stuff? And I did have to address that because it's really one thing that, you know, I'm not saying that burning stuff down is really a good thing. I'm not saying destroying other people's property is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm not really making a judgment on it whatsoever. What I'm saying is this. There's a myth that these people are burning down their own communities. That's really a myth. And it's really false because in reality, it's not even their community. Now, for people who have never been to a poor neighborhood, especially when you're talking about poor black neighborhoods, you know, the vast majority of the businesses are not owned by black people. And even if they are owned by a black person, it's certainly not owned by a black person who lives in that community. 9 times out of 10, the businesses are owned by somebody who's not even from that area and does not reflect the skin tone or the look of the people in the community. Most of the time, it's people from somewhere else that own those businesses. So it's not like black people are looking in a business and saying, "Oh, here's where my mama works. Let me throw a bomb through this window and burn this place to the ground." It's usually not the case. Usually, what is happening is they're burning down businesses that don't hire them, don't treat them with any respect, and don't reflect them or the community that they live in. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, it's not a situation where it's like, I'm burning down businesses in my community that reflect me, that are even a part of this community. It's like, this is a branch of the United States that does not respect me, that just happens to be placed in my community. It's not like this is of my community. It's not like this helps my community. It's not like the people who own this store are going to be out here protesting the death of this young black person. It's not like that's going to happen. So when they burn these things down inside the what you would call the black community, when they burn this stuff down, it's not like they're burning down things that belong to them. It's not like they're burning down things that are a representation of them. So that's kind of false. It's not like the people really feel like it's their community anyway. Because here's what a lot of people don't recognize, and because you may live in a different community where the community does reflect you and respect you. Generally, when you live in your community, you're probably not being harassed by police officers. Generally, when you live in your community, you're probably walking around seeing store owners, people who have businesses in the community. They usually probably look something like you for the most part, reflect you. They live in the community. Also, probably somebody you might have even grown up with or something like that. So these people are human to you. You go into these communities, you go into your store in your community, you're probably not being followed around. You're probably not being disrespected, accused of stealing. Now, if you want to be treated like crap as a black person, and I don't care where you come from, if you'd like to be treated like crap, go to a beauty supply store in a black community. Go to a corner store in a black community. Go to a gas station in a black community. And enjoy the beautiful feeling of being followed around, talked to any kind of way, ignored, totally disrespected. And think about going through that every single day since you were a small child. And think about how much you would be connected to those people. Would you really care if somebody threw a bomb through that person's window after they have treated you like this for years? Probably not. How come you don't see black people burning down the churches in their community? If it's just, they're such animals and they just don't care, these rioters just have no respect. Why aren't they burning down their schools? Why aren't they burning down the churches? Why aren't they burning down their own houses? For the most part, all you see them burning down is stores, see them burning down cars they probably don't even own. Because, you know, in the hood, a lot of people don't even own a car. So you see them burning down a lot of stuff that they don't own. You see them burning down a lot of establishments that don't hire them, that don't reflect them, that don't respect them. You see them destroying a community that they feel they have no stake in, because the reality of the situation is when a community is yours, that means that you make the rules in that community. Now, do you see people making the rules in the hood? No. The rules are made by politicians that don't even live there, and then they're enforced by police officers who don't live there. So these people don't feel a connection to their community. They know good and well if their community was ever fixed up and treated with any respect, they would immediately be booted out of that community because they don't own it. It's not their community. So when you see people destroying this area that they happen to live in, it's because this is the area that was the closest to them. This is the area that they can all congregate in. This is why they're destroying this area, and they have no connection to the area because they don't own anything in the area. Now, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying that it's necessarily constructive, but what I'm saying is I understand it. I understand that you don't feel the ownership of your community. I understand the fact that you feel belittled. I understand the fact that you feel you don't have a voice. And if somebody feels like they don't have a voice, they're going to try to be heard. And this is the way these people go about being heard. Yet people saying, oh, they should have handled it in a different way. You think people don't go down there and try to talk to the police department? You think people don't go talk to the mayor? You think people don't talk to city council constantly and say, hey, treat us better in our community. Treat us better in the place that we live. Let this be our community. Let us have some control over our community, some ownership of our community. You think these people don't do that? They do it for years and years and years. But you don't hear about it. You don't hear about any of the gripes. You don't hear about any of the anger and the animus until it explodes and turns into a riot. Then people go, oh, why did this happen? Where did this come from? Oh my God, I don't understand why they didn't just talk to us. Because you didn't listen until somebody burned something down. So I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying let's stop pretending. Let's stop being fake. Let's stop pointing the finger at these people and pretending like we think this is really their community, because we don't. We know good and well it's not. Let's stop saying they're burning down their own stores. You know good and well they don't own any of those stores. Let's be real. If we're going to be real, let's write a true narrative and talk about what's really happening. Whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, let's paint the real picture and tell the true story. All right, hopefully I was able to help you out. Leave your comments on what you think about it at the bottom in the comment section. Once again, it's your man, Chaz Ellis. Peace.